Dan secretly took his father's phone. He searched for information about Zoe and discovered that her child went missing years ago, right when he was 4 years old. Dan also realized he had no memories before that age. When he looked at himself in the mirror, he noticed he looked very much like Zoe's son. This made him believe he might really be her child. Dan quickly ran to Zoe's house. When he entered her son's room, he stopped in shock. The crooked, childish drawings on the wall felt strangely familiar. Memories started to stir, and Dan began to think he might have been the kidnapped child. He also thought the new music teacher, Zoe, was actually his real mother. Zoe could no longer hold back her tears. She carefully collected Dan's saliva to do a DNA test. Dan then asked if his father was the one who kidnapped him. Zoe said she wasn't sure, and they would have to wait for the DNA results. If the test matched, then they would finally have proof. Meanwhile, Dan's father realized his son had run away. He also checked the phone and saw the search history that Dan left behind. When Zoe returned home, Dan was already gone. On the table, there was only a note. It said he would wait for her at school tomorrow. But the next day, Dan never showed up at school. Instead, Zoe saw his father waiting at the school gate. He looked at her and said, "My son really wants to see you. Let's go on a trip to the countryside together." Zoe felt suspicious about his words, but because of her worry for Dan, she got into the car. The man then drove her to an unfinished villa in the suburb. Title: The Drowning. Please comment next and follow me for more recaps.